You guys just you keep coming around. I just keep hearing about you guys.
And I might need to tell Ryan to cut that up a little bit and just put it in my audio for my phone.
First of all, I love the game. I had a passion to play the game, not only football, but I love the game of golf. And what it lends to a person and the friendships you develop on the golf course.
It's been a pleasure being on the drop. I wish you guys all the best down the road.
As someone like you have that golf itch like a lot of us do.
I keep track of you, and you are moving. You are on the move.
So listen, I'm a big New Jersey golf guy. You're very kind, Mike, and you too, Ryan. It's a pleasure to be on just a couple of Jersey boys here talking about something we love. All the best. I really enjoyed it.
This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Poro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
What's up, Drop Pod people? Welcome back to episode 164. Mike and I here. Let's run through the schedule real quick and get going with what we got for today's episode. Yesterday, the 24th, Mike was down at Hidden Creek. We had talked about that last episode and talked about his time there and the trip down and all that. Mike, you took on the 7th hole, par 3, 164 yards down there. Go over to YouTube, Instagram, and go check out that video. Today's Tuesday, the 25th. Mike and I are here, episode 164. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, give that a follow. If you're listening to this, wherever you're listening to it, wherever you're consuming it, again, do all the things that we always ask. That goes a long way for us. Mike, I just was having some technical glitches on my end. Now I can see you, so that works out well. Wednesday, the Ryan's Verse Day. We're going back to Ireland, Mike. Back to the land of the green. Sandy Hills is part of the Rosapenna complex up there. There's 3 golf courses: Sandy Hills, St. Patrick's, and Old Tom Morris. Sandy Hills was an amazing golf course. If you've been listening to this for a long time, you know how much I enjoyed St. Patrick's. It might be the George Washington of my Mount Rushmore of golf courses I've ever played. It is stunning between the views, the vistas, all those things. Sandy Hills is excellent as well. It is not far behind. It's a similar property. And I took on the 8th hole, par 5, 534 yards. Wind is howling. You're gonna get a good view there, a good video out of it. Our guest for this week is senior writer from Golf Digest, Chris Powers. Mike, another guy we've had Stephen Hennessy on before. This is that's Chris's partner in a lot of things, and it's great to have those guys be able to come on and show us some love and be a part of what we're trying to do. And then anything else we got for this week, Mike, is bonus. So that's what we got for our weekly schedule this week.
This episode is presented by All County Exteriors. If you're a homeowner or builder in New Jersey, there's one name you need to know for exterior and interior modeling. It's All County Exteriors. From roofing, siding, windows and doors, to kitchens, bathrooms, flooring and trim, they do it all. And with over 40 years of experience as a third-generation, family-owned company, you're getting more than just a contractor. You're getting a team that stands behind their work. Now, it is a great time to finally start that deck project you've been putting off before the winter weather hits and lead times pile up. And when you choose All County, you're not just getting top-tier craftsmanship. You're supporting a company rooted in real community values, proudly giving back through organizations like Make-A-Wish, St. Jude's, Roofs for Troops, and Parents of Autistic Children. Right now, they're offering an instant 20% off a limited time. Call 732-370-2780 or email info@allcountyonline.com to schedule your free consultation. All County Exteriors, quality you can trust from people who care. All right, let me hear with the fast facts. Recapping the PGA Tour, obviously we had mentioned this is the last event of the PGA Tour season, and John Pak needed to win or unfortunately head back to Q-School, and he gave it his best effort. At one point throughout Sunday, he was T4. He did finish T7. Unfortunately, a little bit just too late in terms of the process of getting it done. Nice paycheck, but he will head to the final stage of Q-School I did get confirmation on that. He does not have to go to second stage. So that is, I guess, a little bit of a plus, even though final stage is not really an easy process because they're only taking the top 5 players there to get a PGA Tour card. So that is a tough go. Good finish, good playing from John Pak in this final event of the season. Now, as we kind of switch gears here, staying on the PGA Tour, Max Greyserman. Now, on the PGA Tour, they have a lot of these different categories in terms of how guys can continue qualifying for certain signature events. And congrats to Max for finishing within Aon's next 10. And a lot of people may not understand what the Aon Next 10 is, but really what it is, it's an eligibility pathway that rewards access into the signature events starting next year. So if you finished anywhere from 51 to 60 on the final top 100 list, you get access into the first 2 signature events heading into next year, because normally it was just top 50 guaranteed. Now, in terms of what the fall season extends, they give the spots to the next 10. That means Max is in. So looking at my notes here, he gets to go play in the AT&T Pebble Beach along with Tiger's the Genesis. So not a bad way for a guy who didn't finish inside the top 50 for the guaranteed spots to still maintain his spots.
And I would assume that gets him playing in those, he can play his way into the other signature events, right? As he moves forward into the, throughout the season, right? There's different things that can play in there. They just haven't done those invites yet. Like if he stays in that 50 to 60 range, he's not guaranteed to get into the third signature event, but you would think that does get him into the next event, right?
100%, because these are no-cut events. And guys like that, all they're looking to do is get in because they're guaranteed money, they're guaranteed points. It's typically like 1.5 points for the signature events. So now he has opportunities to really climb the ladder. So getting in these events, because a guy like Max is not going to get a sponsor's exemption into them. He just doesn't carry the name recognition that a guy like, say, Jordan Spieth, who finishes outside the next 10, would probably get. Same way that Ricky Fowler got them all this year, so on and so forth. So it's a big, big thing for Max. Congrats to him there. I will also add in that I did talk to a lot of our guys that are going to second stage. Now, I know I'm a little week early with this, but I did do some research and finding out where these guys are going. And what did jump out more so than anything was Ryan McCormick is headed back to second stage based upon where he fell in the Korn Ferry Tour points list. He has to go to second stage. And he's actually going to second stage with his buddy, David Pasteur. They are actually at the same location.
Oh, wow.
Which I thought was kind of interesting that those two, I talked to David this week, roommates somewhat, back at it together, competing against each other. I know David got the better of him during the summer at the Med Open. Maybe the roles reversed this year, but hopefully nonetheless, when they tee it up December 2nd, those guys get through all the way to the 5th. And I did find out that Milan is playing in Alabama and Ethan is also playing in Louisiana. So, 4 guys to kind of keep an eye on in terms of where they're at. And then the final stage does begin December 11th. And I did find out that James Nicklaus will also be at final stage, even though his Korn Ferry Tour card is locked up. He's trying to earn one of those 5 spots to guarantee himself a spot on the PGA Tour. He's playing with house money. So a lot of action going to be happening these next 2.5 weeks.
Did you say where James was?
James gets to go straight to final stage.
Right, straight to final stage.
Yep. So those guys, a lot of action.
Yeah. Oof. A lot of movement there. All right, Mike, I do want to start here. It was something that we had kind of talked a little bit about last week, but more off camera than not. We're recording right now late on Sunday, which is later for us. Mike was in the down in Philly all weekend. You and your wife ran in the Philly Marathon. So I wanted to give a shout out. Congrats. I did feel kind of bad not to shout it out last week on the episode, but I didn't want to, sometimes we like to keep our personal lives a little more personal, and I didn't know where you were standing on that before we started recording. So give us a quick recap. How was the weekend? How'd you do? You sore? Have you iced everything? What's going
Well, I
on?
mean, listen, it's one of those things. I appreciate, the comment there. It's anytime that you run a lot, I don't run that much in terms of distance wise, but I said, I'll try to lace them up for the half marathon and run 13.1. And listen, I know the times people in Philadelphia get a bad rap for how they act and what they say, but I'll tell you this, the crowd, the energy in that crowd, the support from people not even running, the signs, the cowbells. I mean, it was one of those things that I can't typically run that long, but I felt like I could just be Forrest Gump and never stop because I just was smiling. I'm looking around. I'm taking it all in. And frankly, when you run, you probably listen to music or you got some sort of AirPods, headphones on. I legit raw dogged the whole thing. No AirPods, no music, no nothing. I'm just that kid in the candy store looking around, smiling, waving at people as if I am somebody. I'm just some Joe Schmo that lives in New Jersey trying to run it. But listen, it's one of those things I will say to people, like, I know a lot of times that you stereotype and you look at people and you're like, nope, not in good shape. Yes, in good shape. No, they can do it. Yes, they can't. There was every type of person out there, from big to small to little to tall. I mean, frankly, there was, Special Olympics people out there. One person, Chris Cook, has done these things without any arms or legs, and he's on a skateboard. And he does all 3 races, which they call the Freedom Challenge. It's the half marathon Saturday morning. It's the 8K Saturday afternoon, and then the full marathon the next day. And not only, did Chris do all of them, kudos to my wife. She did them as well. I mean, being able to go 44 miles in a weekend is something that's like head scratching to so many people, myself included. And it's one of those things that when she got back in the car, I said, listen, we're stopping at Pat's for some cheesesteaks. I appreciate all the DMs that we did receive about, like, you got to try this place. Go check this place out. Congrats. All those things that people had sent. So I do appreciate all that. I do appreciate the recommendations we got, but we just went with the old but classic Pat's cheesesteaks on the way home.
Yeah, that's the righty layup. That's the bringing in Mo. Right,
listen,
we're just going to Old
point,
Faithful.
When the missus ran 44 miles, she says a spot, and you're just saying, let's get there, let's go.
I'll tell you, Mike, from our conversations, 44 miles is actually a light weekend for her compared to what she normally does. She's going down to Long Beach Island and just running the whole island, or this. So this is light work for her.
Yeah, listen, it's one of those things, better her than me, right? Listen, I give those people a ton of credit. I saw some people coming in, they were just dragging to get in. And I was thankful that I was outside the ropes for that full marathon just watching.
I mean, you're no slouch, Mike. Not only are you an athlete, but if people don't know, you're up every morning running before you go to work. Whether it's 3 or 4 miles. I know that's not the distance that we're talking about here, but that is. If you're doing that every day, if you get up and do 3 miles, 4 miles every morning, I would think, again, not a runner. I know that's a shock to a lot of people, but I would think that's a big. I would think doing 13 is fairly easy. Doing it as much as you run, right? I would imagine. Am I wrong there?
No, I think the consistency is there, and your body is able to probably handle the wherewithal of running. I think once you get into an environment like that where the people are just constantly cheering, saying you can do it, that just distracts you from 13.1 in terms of the miles, which helps you to get through it. But I think ahead of time, like heading into that weekend, I can't lie. I was like, man, I am dreading this. Mm-hmm. I'm dreading this. Like, 13.
And everybody says running's all mental. Running is all mental, right? So,
yep, got it done. So one of those things I can check a box. I did it. I don't think I'll do the full, but I'm perfectly content running the half. I can do that.
Okay. There you go. Good for you. So congrats. Like I said, I wanted to start with that from because that's why we're doing what we're doing right now, right? Mike, let's get into our episode here. We got it's getting into winter season, right? Winter's here. Posting season has come and gone. We're right now. I feel like it's getting to be just a little bit too cold for fall golf, right? Like it's no longer fall golf. We're into the winter golf, especially Saturday was a little nice when the wind kicked up. It was a little tough out there, but I got to start my car early this morning because I had frost on the windows, right? So we're in that season, right? So while people might not be, as giddy for golf right now, probably through the winter, you're going to be like, jonesing and like, okay, I got to take a trip. Where can I go? Can I get away for a weekend? Where's a nice place to go? And Mike, we got a little bit here that we could kind of talk about, and kind of planning your upcoming winter golf trip here.
Yeah, I kind of thought like, obviously, trying to think about different things that we can talk about. And next month I felt like was all about our top 10s of where we play. We're going to hit December hard. But I was also thinking now you're starting to see a lot of the emails pop through or comments about frost delays. And people aren't able to play 8 or 9 o'clock because now you're waiting till later. And we all kind of get that.
But you got to wait till 10 and it's pitch black at 5. So you really got to get off the course.
How about 3:30? How about 3:30?
Yeah. I mean, you really got to get off the course by, again, pitch black. So figure 4:15, 4 o'clock. So you're really talking about like a 6-hour window, maybe a little bit more to play golf in if there's a frost delay. So you're limited on time up here now.
Right. So this kind of led me to the scheduler in terms of like when you start planning things out. I know some people think it happens overnight and it's a flick of a switch and we snap our fingers and bam, it happens. But a lot of planning goes involved to a golf trip. So I said, okay, this is a perfect time. Thanksgiving, you start to see a lot of family. You're going to start to talk about different things, and Christmas is right around the corner. Maybe Santa's able to deliver something nice to you. And I said, oh, this is going to be the perfect topic for you and I to go back and forth about golf trips. Now, I'm going to kind of phrase this in some aspects to you because it is, I know you referenced your mom being a snowbird and heading south at times. Obviously, my parents live down in Florida full time. So I tried to put together a list for you and I of a few spots that we can kind of chat about. A, spots we've been. B, spots we'd like to get to. And I do want to lean you this way. I'm not giving you a budget here, big fella. I'm going to let you have carte blanche to go to a spot that you're really interested in. So what I want you to think about, and I know I'm kind of putting you on the spot. We had no conversation about this leading up to it.
I like
about
that.
Some spots. Yeah, right. Like just firing fastballs right down the middle. I would like to know, in terms of spots that you've been, okay, what's a spot you would recommend to the people out there? Like, hey, listen, I've been here. I can stake my claim and say, you got to go experience it. What's that spot for you?
Are you talking a course or an area?
Let's start with the area, and then I want you to dive into maybe a course in that area that says to the people, this is the course in that area you got to go play. Winter is coming, but there's no golf facility still as busy as Galloping Hill Golf Course in Union County, New Jersey. The courses are open all winter. The Hill Tavern is still buzzing with holiday parties and guests, and kids eat for free all winter again. The clubhouse at Galloping Hill is a hub for social events. From stunning weddings to lively corporate events, the clubhouse is a dynamic venue that can host any type of event that you can imagine. But the real star of the winter is the Swing Suite at Galloping Hill. You can book by the hour just to focus on improving your game, or book longer sessions for an unforgettable time with your friends while you watch the game, enjoy the bar-style food and drinks while playing some of the most famous courses in the world on the simulator. It's a perfect blend of sport and socializing, where even non-golfers can have a blast. Head to learningcenterghgc.com to book your slots now. Or if you'd like to reserve the space for a group outing, please contact Greg Ward at 908-241-8700, extension 308. It's all happening this winter at Galloping Hill Golf Course.
So it's going to sound biased, Mike, but I'll tell you, I've loved it for going back to decades now, I would want to say. And it's Myrtle Beach. The Myrtle Beach area, I mean, they got a sign as you enter the town. It says Golf Town, USA. It is, Mike, I did my, I took a trip there with some buddies when we were, early 20s, right? And we went down there. I did my bachelor party there, my first bachelor party there. when that was happening, right? Mom, it lives down in the area, so again, I know I'm biased now, but it's not biased because Mom's down there. It's biased because I've been there before, and I absolutely love it. And you get the perfect combination of warm weather. In the summer it's super hot, right? You would love it there in the summer. In the winter, it does get cold, but you can still play golf. You can go pants and a long sleeve and a vest and a wool hat, and you can still get out there and play golf. So right now, the time of the year is probably vest, polo and vest, and pants is probably what you're looking at now. So you're able to play for a longer period of time, but you do still have I feel like you go to Florida and it's always the same, right? It's shorts, it's polo, and it's varying degrees of hot and melted stick of butter. So I think that's for me. I kind of like that. I like being able to go between like shorts and a long sleeve or pants and a vest, right? Like you can kind of juggle it there. So between that, the variety of courses that there are, you have courses that are along the water and they're almost like link style or link style is not necessarily right, but like they're lacking some trees. They got some palm trees out there, but it's not like it's not parkland. It's not wooded. It's not wood lined, right? It's not Matita-Conk. It's not Pine Barrens kind of lined. But then you also do have those courses that have a lot of trees that are more inland and more, sculpted through the terrain there. You do have that. You have good golf, you have great golf, you have excellent golf. Like I always say this, I've never played an awful golf course there. And I've played quite a bit of golf there. I have, but I've never played like that. They don't have that like dog track. They have the price might match it, right? But you can think of some places, and we're not about knocking people while they're down here, but you could think of your local muni that costs, $40 with a cart that's torn up. That's just for people that just want to, knock other people over in golf carts, right? That want to blast music, that want to get hammered. That's just like that course that's taking abuse from the public. We can all think of that course. The price might match down there, but the course down there, they don't have that. I've never played a bad course. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I've played 100 courses there, but I've probably played 24 courses down there, maybe more. And I've never played that quote unquote dog track that we all think about. And so I think there's varying degrees there. They all are good. They're all competing with each other. And there's good, then there's great, then there's excellent. I would say those are the three courses down there,
Yeah. And listen, I know that this past summer when I went down to Myrtle Beach, you gave me the list of where we needed to play. And I think if you tune back into my recap of the summer, like Tidewater Golf Club was it. Okay. Managed there by Kemper Sports, historically in the top 10 of public golf courses down there. And I think one of the things that really stood out to me so much down there was those views. I think it's one of those things that, again, being the optics guy that I am, being able to look around and constantly just be like, that picture's good. Nope, that picture's better. Nope, this picture's even better than that one. It just kept moving up my list of like, wow. And one of the things I know you worked really hard on with them is that bunker renovation video. And I know you and I have talked ad nauseum about inconsistencies in bunkers. This place doesn't have it. This place doesn't have it. They define what I think good / great public golf should be. You know what
100%.
You're going to get out there. It's high quality at a well-priced spot. It's definitely for me, when I thought about Myrtle Beach, because I knew you were going to go head down there, that place hit. And when you mentioned it and you said that's a spot, I got to go play it. Firm, fast greens, championship caliber. Like they have everything. Definitely the must play down there. And in my eyes, in terms of Myrtle Beach.
You're not wrong at all. And had I, the next thing, talking about an area, the next thing I'm talking about is Tidewater. And Mike, I will say it is ranked number 9 in Myrtle Beach or low country, South Carolina, whatever the term is, right? It's usually ranked in like the back end of the top 10, right? So in theory, according to the ratings, there are nicer or better courses, right? But I'm telling you, the experience at Tidewater is second to none. It is top notch. It is above and beyond. It has the friendliest people. It's got an enormous driving range. It has the views, like you mentioned. It's going to test, not just let you play, but test every shot in your bag. It's an amazing course. And like you said, it's Kemper, which, we got up here. Brett down there is an amazing connection that we've made there. The people in the pro shop, the guy who's just outside ops, the guy cleaning the clubs, the guy who's setting up the carts, like everybody stem to stern. That place it's just an oasis for golf. It really is. It's a magical spot. It really, really is.
Yeah. So listen, you're talking about heading south for the winter and you're going to start driving south. That's got to be a spot that you hit up. And I agree. I kind of thought Myrtle Beach would be your number one in terms of spots you played. And to no fault, you're accurate there. You are.
No, I'm easy to read. It's like reading Cat in the Hat. Very easy, light read.
So that means now I want you to give me the spot for you. You got no budget. Okay, you got no budget.
Hold on. Are you going to tell me yours? Let's hear yours.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know if you're going to flip the question.
Of course. The people want to hear yours, and then we'll go back, and then we'll do me, no budget, and then we'll do you. How about that?
All right. I like that. That's fair. Listen, I think for me, it's got to be the Pinehurst area. And I think for anybody that's been down there and has got to experience a lot of those courses, not only at the Pinehurst Resort itself, but even just off property. I mean, that place just, it is just so good in so many ways. You want to be slaps. Yeah, that's a better word. I was thinking something a little more egregious, but hey, we can keep this PG. I like that. I will say it has everything, right? You want to be challenged. It's got number 2 and number 4. If you want to be, you want to just have some fun and you want to just be boys out there, it's got the Cradle. Okay. You got number 1 and number 3 that are probably a little more easier in terms of friendly. I know people may argue with me and say 3 is not the easiest, even though it's a par 69, because it's very narrow and the greens are tight. But in terms of challenging to number 2 and 4, it's different. Mm-hmm. I would love to see number 10. I would love to go down there and see what number 10 looks like. But even off property, there's just so many gems, and you could go
in that area, right? You could go give yourself like a 45-minute, hit Pinehurst, take the whatever that tool is that's got the pencil and
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Tobacco Road's right there.
You got Tobacco Road there. I mean, you
Todd
have
Hill
so
Farm,
many,
Southern
many good
Pines.
courses right in there. You're not wrong. You're not wrong in that. It's an excellent area there.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
I mean, you've been to Pinehurst more recently than I have. I went. Let's see, just turned 40. So I went 19 years ago, something like that. My buddy was stationed at Fort Bragg, which is like an hour outside. We went and played and have played the odd courses, 1, 3, and 5. As an early 20s, it's tough to find the funds to pay $450 for a round at number 2. But man, I'll tell you, those I felt like quick story. Early, when I went there, I was not as into golf as I am now. I liked golf. I clearly played, but I wasn't like that golf, like worrying about the architecture or I enjoyed playing. So I got out there, right? The first shot I hit my drive, middle of the fairway on the first hole of the first course there. And I get over the ball and I look at my buddy and I go, this is kept nicer than my carpet at home. And I proceeded to blade a wedge over because I didn't want to touch the grass. I didn't want to like hurt the nicely manicured grass. And again, early on in my golfing journey there. But it is just as beautifully manicured as the others. You're not just going to play number 2 or number 4. You can play any of them and have an awesome time. And then only now with the additions to, they got the Cradle and they got all the new 10th, the 10th course. They got a lot more additions than when I've been there. So that's a spot that I would love to get to as well.
Yeah, knowing that it's a USGA anchor site now, that it goes back there every 5 years. You got USGA headquarters there. You got Golf Pride has its own little like facility there that you could go in there. It is definitely one of those spots that like you're venturing south, that Myrtle Beach, Pinehurst area that you and I can attest to. Two special spots.
Yeah, man.
All right, so here we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I gotta fire this. It does kind of, make me think about like there's so many, right? And you can see on the episode sheet here, I listed off the top of my head where I could. Now, if you got one outside the box, love to hear it. But I kind of was trying to find the most popular, most talked about, something along those lines. So I'm giving you infinity money. You could go wherever you want to go. There's nothing holding you back, from airfare to personal flying to anything you can think of. Where's the one spot that is a bucket list spot for you to get to? George Wall Ford in Red Bank, New Jersey is family owned and operated, proudly serving New Jersey residents with superior customer service since 1960. Rye, share your story about your experience there.
I can't say enough good things about George Wall Ford. I needed a new car. I had an old. I loved the brand that I had. I loved, it was an SUV, but had 165,000 miles on it. It was just time, So I hopped on over to George Wall Ford. I saw our guy Jerry, and Jerry and his team were awesome. I mean, from stem to stern, they're there. They're helping. They're knowledgeable. They have so many cars on the lot that you can go in and say, "Hey, I want a sunroof, a navigation. I want this kind of rims on it." There's a great chance that they have that car with all your specs, the color, all that thing. I like to be higher in my car. And I went and saw Jerry. He pointed me in the right direction. And again, it's awesome to have that kind of help and support from your salesman to the finance guy to even they got somebody who helps you set up your car, right? I got an app on my phone now that's got my auto start on it. I can locate my car if I don't know where it is. I could take a trip to Japan if I wanted to and be like, did I lock my car? And I can go into the app and lock my car. So just the hands-on approach over there is incredible. So if you need a car, head on over to George Wall and go ask for Jerry. They were awesome there. Again, stem to stern from everybody. I can't say enough good things about it. It was an unbelievable experience.
There isn't a better place to shop for a brand new car. Just call 732-704-1932 and ask for Jeremy Wall. George Wall Ford in Red Bank for all your car buying needs.
Well, I assume you're going to keep in the United States because unlimited airfare and everything. I'm going to Ireland and I'm going to play, Ballybunion but yeah.
Valid point. I get that. Okay, yeah.
So just so the people look, you put a couple on here real quick. You got Myrtle Beach, which we just talked about, Streamsong, Bandon, Pebble, Sand Valley, Pinehurst. Again, just talked about it. Scottsdale, Big Cedar Lodge. I would add the one that comes to mind that's not on there, or the two I guess that come to mind, are Cabot and Cabot Cliffs, Cabot Links, and then what's it in the mountains there? Is it Banff? Is that I think that's the one in Canada. So I guess it's outside the US. So so is Cabot. But anyway, those are the two that I would think of this list, Mike. To me, I mean, I'm very intrigued. The two that jump out here that I'm trying to decide between would be Scottsdale in obviously down in Arizona, and Bandon. Bandon to me is one of those places. I think I would pick Bandon over it, but obviously it's not a winter getaway. So if you're looking, that kind of throws another wrinkle in. If we're talking about winter getaways, obviously I'm going Scottsdale, and that's, live it up down there, right? But if it's a summertime, or like if we're planning in the winter for a summer trip or anything like that, I'm going to Bandon. And the amount of courses they have there are, what are they up to, 5 or 6 now, something like that? Like it's not just like going down and playing like 2 courses or 3 courses. Like they got you're going to go there and not play. You're going to go there for 4 days, 5 days, play 36 holes a day, and you're not going to finish some of the courses. I think that's how like the math works out on that. the views. You got some that are running through the mountains and the woods there that are inland, but you also have beach views, right? You got, I think you have every kind of style there. You got the link style, you got parkland style, you got ocean, you got mountains, you got woods. Like, to me, there's all the diversity there in one location. As I just kind of said, with Myrtle Beach kind of has the diversity through an area. Bandon is it. And I would also say this, like, I know that is an expensive trip, and I know it's not easy to get to. So if you're talking about like infinite time, money, all that stuff, like, to me, that's a trip where if you know someone who's gone to Bandon, that like they really invested in their golfing journey, because it's coming from the East Coast, you got a 6-hour plane ride to Eugene, and then you got a 4-hour bus ride, to Bandon. So you're really putting in a day's worth of travel to get there. It better be special, and to me, I think the bang for the buck is going to be there.
Yeah, listen, you hear so many people say that Bandon is the best spot in terms of destination. So we've seen so many pictures, we've heard so many unbelievable stories. So yeah, I can't harp on say that's a bad spot at all, because I mean, honestly, none of these spots are bad, but
right.
And everybody probably would have a little say in terms of why one may be better than the other. But yeah, that's a good one. Bandon's a good spot.
So I'm just pulling up their golf courses, Mike. They got Bandon Dunes, Pacific Dunes, Bandon Trails, Old McDonald, Sheep Ranch, Brandon Preserve, and Shorties. So what's that? 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, I mean, they're like I said, you're not running out of golf that you can play there. And I mean, a 7-day trip, right? You a day for travel, that's 5 days. Only 2 days you're playing 36. You spend a week there and just have yourself a good old time.
Yeah, you might not come back.
I think that would be your kind of place, because it's in the middle of nowhere. That's a spot where you're going to, like, for you might do all that in a weekend. 54, get out.
Well, it's funny because, when you flip the question and I start thinking about spots, right? And I put the sheet together. So I was thinking about this a lot in terms of like, okay, like, no budget, can go where you want to go. If you can guarantee me perfect weather, along with this no budget philosophy, I think I'm going to Pebble Beach, because being the views guy and standing there on the 7th tee, trying to hit the green, like, that to me is something I would love to do. And I know I've echoed this to my dad so many times, like, bucket list. But I think the horror is you end up out there and it's a foggy day or it's raining. You've seen those horror stories too, where you don't have a choice. You've already paid all this money. But that, to me, if you could guarantee me the perfect weather.
Here's $700 to play in the sideways rain.
In the monsoon. Yeah. And for someone who hates playing golf in the rain as it is, that would be a very tough sell for me. So perfect weather, guaranteed, no issues. Give me Pebble Beach. That's probably my number one.
Are you rolling the dice? Are you willing to roll the dice with that, though? Again, you can't guarantee it. You still going to roll the dice and go there?
So that's where I said, okay, I probably need to take a page out of your book and have a conservative plan B in terms of an option 2, which then kind of led me to Streamsong, which is kind of a different spot because it's in the middle of nowhere. Okay. Looking at where this place is, it's nothing going on there except the one thing that I like: golf. I'm not that guy that's going out there, staying up late, drinking, partying, that's not who I am. I know that's sometimes people do that. So for me, being at a place like Streamsong, where it is kind of like live and die golf, it kind of tickles my fancy a little bit here. You got 3 courses out there specifically. You got the red, the black, and the blue. Everybody at different points has said one is better than the other. You got to get your own opinion of it. They also have what is called the chain out there. It's a short course, similar to what all these other short courses have. They have their own. They also have what is called the preserve. It's a putting course out there as well. So you do have a variety of things to do, right? So if you're looking for like a quick hit and run, I'm going in for 3 days and I'm going to play all the courses and I'm going to get out. Streamsongs may make some sense to some people. Okay. You know, get in, get
Whistling
out, move
Straits just came to my mind, Mike. Whistling Straits, Erin Hills. There's another one. I'm just sorry to interrupt you.
No, listen, before you know it, we're going to think of one in Texas in a heartbeat. And then we're going to say, what about this spot? Right. Because that's my point.
Not PGA Frisco.
Right. There's another one. Right. So we can go down to Florida if you want and find all these public spots that they have down there too. You want to talk about Sawgrass? There's another one. I know it doesn't have all the courses, but you might want to go play Sawgrass. I just think a guy like me who lives and dies by strictly golfing, Streamsong makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah. To your point, Mike, knowing you, I would think that's your kind of spot. With the weather, again, I think Bandon would be good for you too. There's nothing around it, and that's kind of your thing, as I mentioned. But like the Streamsong, it's got the nice weather. It's hot. That's more your vibe. You're a Florida guy. I think that's your. I totally. If you were to ask me before we did this, which one would you want to go to? Streamsong would have been it for there.
Yeah, minus if you guarantee me the weather, big fella, I'm going west to Cali. I'm going to Pebble. I would love to go there.
The problem is you just can't. You just can't because it's too sporadic.
I know. That does scare me.
What's that overhang, the fog, it's got a particular name. It's going to bother me that I can't remember it. But yeah, that would be the worst thing possible. If you went there, paid all that money, the flight, the trip, the whole thing, and just got hit. Even if you got it one day, right? Even if you were able to play, what's it, Spanish Bay and what's the other one there, Mike? Spyglass. Like if you couldn't see the view on the 7th hole at Pebble, it might ruin the trip.
I'd cry. Yeah. To your point, that's what I said. Like, because I'm going through this. You know, if you're going to say no, if I'm going to say no budget to you, can I get perfect weather? If I can't get perfect weather, okay. You know, so that's kind of some of the things I sat on thinking about like this. But I mean, Whistling Straits, another great one. I mean, my, oh my, there's several
courses up there. And then I started thinking like, okay, well, Whistling Straits, but then you also got,
Sand Valley in Wisconsin. You got Sand Valley, Mammoth Dunes, the Lido. Mm-hmm. I know Lido's a little bit, yes, it's a little bit private, but whatever the case is, you got the Sandbox at par 3. Like you got so many. And I think that's one of the things that made me think about this topic because winter is coming, right? Mm-hmm. Winter is here. And for some of us, for me, it's definitely here because I hate how dark it gets so soon and how freezing cold it is right now. So I was like, I need to start thinking about summertime.
Yeah. Even springtime. It's not too late. It's the end of November. You got December, January, February, March. You know, you got spring break. You got time where you can, that early March or March, early April time. That's a fine time to go to these places. Again, you probably don't want to go to Cabot at that time, but you head to Scottsdale, head to Pebble, head to Streamsong. That's a couple months. You're good to go there. So.
Yeah, listen, there's a lot of good spots. I would love to put this out there to the audience as well. Did we miss one? What did we miss? If we're missing some spots, please educate us because we need all the help we can get.
There we go. Mike, you got anything else here for today's episode?
I don't, pal. That's all I got. Book your trips. Go enjoy golf. Send me the pictures. Let me vicariously live through you.
All right. Well, on that note, that's going to call it here for Mike and I. Stay tuned Thursday for our interview with Chris Powers. Again, senior editor, senior writer for Golf Digest. Till then, cheers.